Hello everyone in intermediate graphic design. Welcome to the April 6th edition of Remote Instruction. I sent out a separate email on this, but basically if you're not participating in the class, just drop the class ASAP. So in that other email, there's a link that'll give you more information, but the college is being, fairly generous about that right now. So if you're not, in it, then you may as well just drop. Okay, the PDF I sent out to you on the 4th that is going to go out tonight after today's meeting is officially over with. There was one error on it, which is why I send it out. So let me just show it to you real quick here. Okay, so there's page 1, 2, 3, and this is what was missing, was somehow I left this one out, but it is in there now. So just please take a look one more time. Make sure yours is in here. If it's not, let me know right away. To page 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and that's it. It also means that we've completed our midterm, which was that turn-in of the cover. Okay, so now let's shift gears and talk about April 13th. So we will do a Zoom meeting at 5:30 p.m. to discuss the resume posts that are going on right now, the progress of your AP Tech contest, and any WordPress questions. Okay, so let's look in Canvas and see how it's actually listed what's due for next week. There's your Zoom invite, which will also be on the email that went out today, along with the full Zoom invite that has the telephone numbers and all that good stuff on it. Okay, so what is due for next week? Two main bullet points here is set up a WordPress site and email me your URL. URL is what, Uniform Resource Locator or something like that. It just simply means your address, like right here. That's a URL. If we look at my WordPress site, it's profsteveg.wordpress.com. And once you go onto wordpress.org per the video instructions and set up a site, you will have your own URL. Now, the purpose of this WordPress site is that you will eventually turn this into your portfolio. And there's a lot of instructions that go through to get you there. But for next week, there's just two things that I want you to have done. One is that you set up the site, and two is that you've made a post on your site. And I give the details down here, what the post needs to contain. You get here just simply by going to WordPress.org and continuing on. But I have video instruction that explains the differences between WordPress.org and WordPress.com. So, and those instructions are mostly for my web-based classes, so you will have to go through there to find them. So you go down to art129/483 eWeb, go down to where you see instructional video set for WordPress. Now, WordPress is a very public type forum. It's, what do they say that they make up, like some huge percentage of the internet is based on the WordPress format. So it is a very smart thing for you to know as a designer. But what I do want to say about this is by the time you go in and you type in wordpress.org, it won't look like what you see in my videos. I just went through this with a class. Everybody was able to go in and, with a little bit of messing around, figure out the new stuff. You can also, watch their instruction, right from their site, maybe fast forward through mine just so that you get the gist of what I want you to accomplish. But if you find that their instruction on how to do it is better or more up to date than mine, you can certainly do that. One of the things that we discovered just, weeks ago when we did this in the other class was that WordPress has become, and I don't think aggressive is the right word. I mean, heck, it's a free form, but they're actively trying to get you to pay for stuff more and more. So just know this, you do not have to pay for WordPress for this class. If you decide that you want your own personal URL that is, more personalized than what you end up with through them, you can certainly do that. If you want to pay for a theme because you like it much better than the free themes that are available, you can certainly do that, but you do not have to pay a nickel. Now, what we found though is when you set up the site and you click to get going, every option that shows you like the URL that you can pick from all have a price tag next to them. And I'm going by memory here. I think we either had to scroll way down to the bottom that said, proceed with this URL for free, or it was way up at the top. But in one, there's two things that come up. One is way up at the top and one was way up at the bottom. It kind of reminds me of like Amazon Prime now, where you place an order that's over the $35 or whatever and it's supposed to be free, and it is, but they make it look like it's not going to be until you actually check out because they want you to spend that money and go Prime. So the two things that'll look like you need to pay or kind of imply that you need to pay is for the actual address, the URL. But like I said, if you look around enough, you'll find the option that says, nope, just proceed for free, use this URL. It may be crummy, it may be like holiday joe blah blah at .us, .com, .wordpress, .whatever, but who cares? At least you're getting the instruction that you need. And most of the time when someone says, send me your portfolio, you can send it to them in a link. They don't really care what it says. But like I said, if you want to spend whatever it is per year to get a nicer one, you can. The other thing too is the theme. It'll look like you have to spend money for a theme. You do not. There is a whole bunch of free themes to choose from. So just click proceed to free themes. And once you do those two things, you now have your WordPress website set up. And then the only other thing that you have to do to get full credit is just to make a blog. I have paste here. It should be post or past. So by following the instructions on these two videos and on WordPress's site, you will just make a post, and I'll fix that after the video. It wouldn't let me in there. That contains your full roster name. So if you told me you like to be called something else, that's what I consider your roster name. Put your full name in there and an image of yourself. That's it. You email me with your URL. I click on it. I'll see that there's an image of you with your full name, and I'll be, yes, you did it. Since it's a little bit technical, I'll give you the full 40 out of 40 points if you get that done by 11:59 p.m. on April 13th. And then that way, if it takes you a little bit longer, you only lose, -4 points, and you still get a 36 out of 40A. All right, and then the other thing is the comp of the AP Tech contest on the discussion post for April 13th. And if you're wondering why there's all these little underscores in here, Canvas has some kind of problem when you go in and you edit an announcement sometimes. It won't let you put spaces in, so I just did that for the spaces. At the final contest, if it's the same as last year, which I assume it will be, I can only submit one work per student. Now that doesn't mean that you can't work on two things, for the next couple weeks and get whichever one of them turns out the best as the one that we'll submit. But because I've told you that if you do more work than the minimum, I will give you the higher A. In order to get higher than 36 out of 40, show me two variations. And since we're online and it's harder to give feedback, just two variations will get you, if they're good, will get you 40 out of 40 points. So if you show me one and it's good, you met all the requirements, you'll get 30 out of 40, 36 out of 40, sorry. And then if you have another one in there and, it's just now, okay, maybe you get 37, 38 out of 40. But if it looks like you're really working your butt off on two different either ideas at first or variations of the same idea, then you'll get those maximum points that'll help your grade. We will turn these in the second to last week of class, so you've got a lot of time to work on this new AP Tech contest and hopefully win. So there will be a lot of preparation grades where you can boost your grade up, and then obviously you'll get a project grade for your final work on it. And I don't want you to do a resume for the week of the 13th because we're still talking about those, and we'll continue to talk about them on the 13th. So just know that if you want to get started, I would highly suggest that by this point you have all of the content that you want to use. I would lay that out in Illustrator, maybe set up 3 different designs in Illustrator, and then after you read all of the comments and so on in this post, and we have a good talk about what is and isn't the best ideas and a graphic designer's resume, then we'll look at your first comp for that on April 20th. So if you have questions, please email me and we'll go from there. Talk to you in person-ish on April 13th at 5:30 p.m.